I want to take this opportunity to really encourage buyers to open up.
Yes,
and we're not here to
totally
scam
agree.
you. We're here to help you.
Correct.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Connecting the Dots, where we unravel the complexities of real estate in Malaysia. My name is Joanne. I'm the host for this show. And today we have a very special guest with us. He is someone that I know since probably I was 8, 9.
Probably eight, yeah.
Probably eight, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and we were both from the same primary school and we were from the same class, and now we are working as a team together. He's part of the team and he has been focusing to help sellers or even landlords to dispose their house or rent out their house in Old Klang Road area, specifically in Taman Desa. So let's welcome Shen.
Hi guys.
Yes, good. The hi guys is really signature thing. So yes, it's interesting how we got reconnected after I think a long period of silence, probably about 10 years.
More than that, yeah.
Right? And I think it's amazing because how we got connected is during COVID time, I can still remember when we were marketing Summit Velocity 2. And then and then I was prospecting through my phone book, and then I just reached out to Shen and then asked if he's interested to invest in
I think we started talking before that.
Before that?
Yeah, so I think I was at a stage where I was trying to understand real estate more.
Okay.
And because I've seen multiple Facebook posts from you regarding real estate, and I knew you were in the industry, so I believe I messaged you to say, please teach me or educate me on this topic. And then slowly it became Summit Velocity.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So Shen is already in our team for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years plus.
2 years plus. And he wasn't doing this before at all. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So do I go way back?
Yes,
or,
go way back.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know, education.
Okay. So I believe I would describe my childhood as pretty uneventful and average. Didn't really know what I want to do. Didn't really have any strong interest or inclination towards anything. So I pretty much was like that until perhaps even the stage where I had to decide what degree to do.
So you didn't have an ambition that who you want to become?
I didn't really. I knew what I didn't want to become.
Like what?
I didn't want to become an engineer. I didn't want to become anything to do with, I don't know, the sciences, I guess. Like not biologist or...
You were also musically inclined, weren't you?
No, not really.
But you were in a band. What were you doing in the band already?
I was playing the trumpet. Yeah, but it wasn't really anything I was passionate about. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was it was time to decide on my degree. I chose something super general to give myself options in case I have something that I want to pursue. So I did a degree in accounting and finance. Super general. I knew I didn't want to be an engineer, so no point doing the sciences. Something in the arts where it's general.
So did you do science stream or art stream when in high school?
Science. So I did science stream up to A levels because it was the most general option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gives you more options.
So everything has to be general.
Okay.
Yeah. So general up to deciding to do accounting and finance. I did that, and when it was time to sort of think about what jobs to apply for, or rather what industries to interview for. At that time, it was very trendy to look into investment banking and finance. Okay. At that time. The big money. Yeah. And my degree was quite suited for that. So I actually prepared for interviews and did a lot. I actually did go for interviews, did apply for big names, big banks. But I wasn't very successful. Okay. Even if I got to the interview stage, I wasn't successful. And I also noticed as time goes by, I wasn't very interested in the topics. Because you have to prepare for the topics. You have to be very aware of what's going on in economics, in politics, in policies, the macros. I wasn't interested in any of that. Yeah. So I wasn't naturally reading up about it. I had to
Okay.
force myself to
Yeah.
prepare for it.
Yeah.
So I knew something wasn't right there.
Okay.
So I started asking myself, what do I gravitate towards? Naturally, without forcing myself, without it being a chore. And I noticed that I like reading about businesses. I like to read about how businesses develop from their early stages to where they are now, and
Okay.
business stories basically.
Yeah.
Stories about their founders, biographies. I love reading about those without being forced to read. So I thought, okay, why don't let's pivot? Let's just go away from the finances, the investment banks. Let's go into businesses. So I started applying for business roles, like proper business roles, not consultancy, not your accounting audit jobs or those kind of stuff. And then surprisingly, I got it in my first attempt.
So when you say business side means what? Business development kind of role?
So instead of, you know how like investment banks, you are just applying for like finance roles, but business, you're actually in a role. Like I was applying to a function, a sales function, a strategy function, like more business
in-house,
in-house, more specific to a business growing kind of thing. So the first role I applied to was a sales role.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got the job pretty smoothly.
Is this your first job
my
after
first job?
graduating?
Yes, my first job.
Okay.
So I knew I was in my element. I knew like I was wasting my time previously, and I was in my element already.
Yes.
Yeah, so so this company is a private equity company where they buy small businesses, they build them up and they sell it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really enjoy my time there because I get to see how businesses were formed.
Yeah.
And then when we come in, how we transform the business. And later on, I can see how they perform later. I mean, the exit part doesn't really matter, but how I can see how the business grew from the beginning, or rather from early stages to sometimes quite a number of years later.
Okay.
Yeah, so and within this company, I joined in sales, and then after that, I spent some time in strategy, and I spent some time in my final years there in supply chain. So I got to see pretty much from the supply side to the
all within the
demand
same
side,
company.
all within the same company, yeah. And because this company manages quite a few brands, I was able to see how different brands do things differently. I was able to see in terms of marketing how they market, how they position, and how they even in terms of branding, how they the words they use, like all these kind of things that we don't really see from a consumer point of view. Yeah, I got to experience all of that lah. So that was I would say a very formative experience for me.
Do you remember what particular business that really you were in awe of how they managed to become, I don't know, in the reds, became the greens? Did you manage to see a huge transformation of a particular business?
Yeah, so there was this one business that was pretty much, I would say, the laggard in the team, in the whole company, where it has been in the red for many years, and then they've changed the leadership quite a few times, and I think it took someone really gutsy to change the direction completely and to really communicate what he wants to do clearly to all the partners, and that really I felt got the buy-in from many stakeholders, and then moved the business forward. And I felt like one of the things that I really appreciate from this experience is how they brought in a sense of family. It was a family business, so they treated every business like a family.
What industry was that?
It's in consumer goods. Just not in terms of like fast moving FMCG. It's not. It's basically clothing, shoes, sporting equipment, those kind of stuff Yeah. So I think it really made me think about if I at that time, if I were to go into my own business in the future, how would I want to treat my employees, for example? How would I want to what sort of culture I want to cultivate, those kind of things.
Did you have an opportunity to really go very close to the key leaders?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was fortunate enough
Right.
that a lot of the roles I was in
Yeah.
was very sort of like new roles which report directly to the management. So I was able to be involved with strategy and all that stuff from a management, like closer to the management point of view.
How many years were you in that company?
I was there for 4 years plus, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I believe like you really felt, I think that was when you were inspired to start your own business one day.
I felt like at the very least I knew I was very interested in running a business.
Okay.
Yeah. In general.
Yeah.
Just business in general is something that I'm very interested in. Yeah.
So right now, I think you are also running your own business apart from real estate agent. So maybe you can share with us, like, what are you doing?
Okay, so so after my stint in that company, I started a business with my brother.
Okay.
So this business is in animal feed.
Yeah.
So it's an exporting business, a lot to do with trade.
Okay.
It's just a two-man show, basically.
Okay.
Me and my brother, we do everything from...
but why? Why animal feed? Like
my brother started it first.
Oh.
Yeah, so I joined him.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't my idea. It wasn't something that it's just something that we stumbled upon. Rather, he stumbled upon and he got me to come in to be involved.
Is he a big fan of animals? That's
not really. I also felt like he stumbled upon it. So it's by
opportunity.
It's opportunity is by fate that we just happen to go into.
It's not like you all love animals.
No. Yeah.
Right.
So and also I believe you can relate to as well being in starting a business as a two-man show from the beginning.
Correct.
It's very hands-on, it's very thrown into the deep, and you just have to make it work, figure it out, that kind of stuff.
Which year was it in that you all really started this together?
I believe 2015, so it's almost 10 years already.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's still ongoing, right?
Yeah, still ongoing, yeah.
Has the two-man show become like 5 or 10?
No, it's still a two-man show. Yeah, it's still
so what's the day-to-day like?
You mean just...
In that business?
In that business? A lot of... Actually quite similar to the real estate side of things. A lot of lead gen.
Right.
A lot of fulfilling. So like you will look at things through transactions, we will look at things through orders.
Yes.
Same thing actually.
Okay.
Every order, every transaction has their issues.
Yes.
Every transaction, you will learn new things, new problems, learn new things, new lessons. So same thing basically. Ups and downs, seasons, different curveballs. As Jonathan liked to say, expect and unexpected. It applies. It applies. Yeah.
So 10 years, I think it's not easy to sustain a business for 10 years. They always say that it's easy to start, but it's the hardest to maintain and sustain, right? So what motivates you as a business owner yourself? And now, honestly, you are also a business owner in the real estate industry. Yeah. So what motivates you to keep going and maintaining this and making sure that it's profitable? Yeah.
I think it's because I find joy in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think overcoming challenges and also seeing that I'm actually from the real estate point of view, helping someone, that I find a lot of joy in that. But from the other side of things, I'm also helping my partners fulfill their side of their business.
Their business.
Yeah. So for me, it's I find joy in it. So that keeps me going. Yeah. I do find joy in it. Right. So
okay. Then it's like when you have this real estate and your own business in export, it's just export only. There's no import.
No import. Yeah.
Right. These two businesses, right? You mentioned that the similarities between both are really also heavily centric on services, providing services, right?
Yeah.
So you yourself, like, how do you find the tenacity or the perseverance to keep providing service? Because we all know that we have difficult clients. So what keeps you going to maintain a very high standard of providing services to your clients, both in real estate and your business?
I think ultimately, what I find most useful is to understand
Right.
what they really want and to to sort of think from their point of view. Why are they being difficult, to put it pretty bluntly? Why are they being difficult? Or maybe we see the difficult side, but actually maybe they have a different different point of view, or they have their reasons. Try to understand where they're coming from. Perhaps I would say most of the time, whatever we think the issue is not really the issue. There's actually an underlying issue that we didn't really address. So I think I try to see it from that point of view and step in their shoes, or rather try and understand actually, or rather have a conversation and try and see why things are the way it is at the moment.
Or they behave a certain way.
Exactly. So I think once you understand, you will come to a better mindset or better way of facing this problem.
Different mindset, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we switch gear a little bit to go on to real estate, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and because I like that you said that you would step into whether or not a buyer or seller's shoe to try to understand why they behave a certain way, or why they say certain things, or why we think that they are actually difficult clients. Perhaps, and before that, I just want to let the listeners know that we always feel that Shen is the best agent to deal with buyers, especially. Somehow he has that, magic words or a script to really make the buyer believe in you and trust you, and put the biggest decision of their life to purchase a home in your hands, right? That's the reputation that he has for this team. Yes, you do. And I'm just wondering, how do you do that? How do you even try to understand, especially on the buyer's part, that what they're feeling, what they're looking for in buying a residential home? Yeah.
Okay, so I try to get them to tell me. I try to understand from them what they are truly looking for, and I try and by also having conversations, or rather having suggestions of the listings that we have, and through their feedback as well, I try to understand what they're really looking for, and also at what stage of their journey they are at. And from there, I truly believe that I'm actually matchmaking houses to future owners. So it's all about what is suitable for them, and I will never try to push something that is not suitable. I will never try and convince them that a listing is the house for them. I'm a big believer of if it's meant to be, it will be. So I always believe that the right house will come, and we will just have to journey and persevere until that house appears for this buyer. That is how I approach things.
It also sounds like you are not an agent that would simply, today you got a listing, you will just blast all your database, right? You would literally look through your client's list and see that, perhaps this is only suitable for 2 buyers in my 100 database, for example, right? You won't just blast to all.
So I would have some sort of file stored in my head. This person looking for XYZ, and if something I feel like, hey, I think she may like or he may like this house, I would only propose it to those prospects.
It is so challenging to get our clients to really tell us the truth of what they want, right? So how do you do that?
So that is something I also find challenging. I feel like buyers, if you really want to find the right house for you, even if it's not for own stay, if it's for investment purposes, whatever it is, whatever purpose you have, I really encourage the buyer to, with whichever agent you're comfortable with, sit down with them and be open with them with what they're looking for. I somehow sense that some prospects, some buyers, they withhold information because I don't know. I get the sense that they are afraid that we may scam them. I get that sense. I'm not like, obviously they didn't say it
that
to me, but I get the sense that they're withholding information, even information like what they're looking for.
Yeah, I agree.
And they withhold that thinking that they may get the upper hand or something, like something that if we don't know, then we can't scam them or something. But I would really want to take this opportunity to encourage buyers to pick an agent you're comfortable with.
Correct.
And really be open with them, your needs, where you are at your journey, what have you seen, what have you seen that you don't like or like. It really helps us to really understand you and also find you that perfect home that you're looking for. And I always find responses that I get, and these are, I feel very often nowadays, responses like, I will let you know if I'm interested, full stop, or no response.
Yes.
And when I ask them, when I follow up with them a few days later, oh sorry, it's not suitable. I would like to know why, you see, so I can understand why, and I can propose you, because we have a lot of listings, and we have a lot of listings through different across different areas also. So I'm pretty sure there is always an option that we haven't explored.
That's right.
Yeah. So I want to take this opportunity to really encourage buyers to open up.
Yes.
And we're not here to scam you. We're here to help you.
Correct. I think nowadays it's just, when you share too much, people feel that they become more vulnerable. And then, they always feel that agents are like, trying to, get money from you, or trying to, like what you said, scam or cheat, or sell you something that it's above market value and things like that. And I really feel that this perception of real estate agent, we are very sorry that the public has this perception about us. And we're trying very hard every day to try to be different or be better, and to deliver a higher standard, right, than the other agents. And I think, to be very honest, a lot of our colleagues out there who are in the real estate industry are really good agents. Actually, I really hear lesser stories now about how agents really go and scam people, or not, I won't say scam lah, they probably misrepresent or became very pushy and things like that. Good agent, there are good agents out there. There's still hope for you to find someone that you're very comfortable with, that holds high integrity on their work and takes pride in it, and really think on your behalf, think for you, to give you the best service lah.
I agree. I think a lot of agents that I've come across, co-agents, our own colleagues, agents within our market, I get the impression that everyone is genuinely there to help. I think it's a matter of you finding who you're comfortable with and work with that agent.
So maybe you can also share with us, like, what was the toughest client that you yourself even feel that, wow, even you don't have the patience or the tenacity to follow up with this client? Maybe, did you have a client like that?
Clients who, like I mentioned just now, just refuse to open up. That one I really feel like I cannot help you because I really don't understand what you want, and you're not willing to give me any feedback. Also, clients who are very, I would say, intimidating. They would not want to discuss things. They would want to bulldoze their way through conversations, like not allowing us to explain, or not allowing us to do our jobs even. So I feel like,
for example, can you give us like an example that you have encountered?
So clients who, I would say, for example, not let us show the house in a particular way. They want to bring in I don't know, friends and family, and they would do their own viewing, for example.
That means you brought someone there, but you were sort of being
just the key opener. The door opener. Then it's very hard for me to have a conversation to understand like what you're looking for, and then I feel like I'm not able to provide good service if I'm not part of the conversation.
True.
Yeah, that's
So
an
they want to take
example.
over lah. They want to
Yeah,
take control.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, everyone has their own style.
Yes.
But yeah, it will be difficult for me if they don't allow us to help.
Yeah, that's true. Then what about share with us one of the most fulfilling deal that you have done, or most fulfilling moment that you have encountered in the real estate?
For some reason,
Yeah.
I tend to end up being friends with my clients. So there's a few deals where I actually made friends with the buyer or the seller, and we still keep in touch.
That's good.
Yeah, so a couple of and these are buyers where I've helped them find a home. So they were renting, or they were trying to move out of their family home. So I found homes for them where it's really suitable, it's really what they're looking for within their budget. And I've managed to still keep in touch with them, and every now and then we still meet up to have coffee or something. Yeah.
What is the longest time that you took to find a buyer their perfect home? Or does it take very long?
If they open up, no.
Actually it's true.
If they really open up,
true.
if they open up, no, it doesn't take very long.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if I really understand them, actually it's much easier to actually go out there and find a house for them. Yeah.
It's really about transparency.
Yeah. But again, it's not entirely the prospect's fault. Maybe we have to learn how to bring it out of them. But I still haven't found the secret formula. So I'll just have to continue trying.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it's because we're all human. It's very difficult to say that is a right formula to get someone to open up. And for me, I really feel that I strongly believe that when we open up ourselves first, when we are vulnerable ourselves first, then eventually over time, people do see we are sincere, and they will kind of like reach out to us even without us asking questions. And I think just yesterday we were having a meeting with the Bangsa team. Dara was just asking us, do we need to send a set of questions to our prospect so that they get to give us an answer of what they're looking for? And he did that to a few prospects, and I realized that it's not as effective through physical interaction, because yes, I agree that sometimes you just want to do your pre-qualifying work by sending some questions. Some people like that because they like it to be just answer, okay, you're looking for freehold, leasehold, old house, new house, renovated or not, how many rooms and all this. And some people feel that it is very easy for me to tell this agent what I want because it's very simple. I just need to answer yes or no questions or things like that. So some people find it works. But some people didn't even bother to respond to Daryl's reply, and we were just trying to brainstorm, hey, how can we do better and things like that. So I really believe that there's no right formula.
Yeah, sure.
So we're just really trying out to see how we can help especially buyers to really open up to us, to share with us what they want.
Yeah, I do have my set of questions as well. Yeah, so I would usually ask, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
Which areas would you consider? And also, what is your budget? So these questions for me would give me a very general idea of where you're looking at. And also, generally, I already can tell if this listing that you're inquiring for meets whatever you're looking for.
Okay.
However, like you said, not everyone is up for answering those questions.
Okay, then those that we have discussed is mainly buyers who are looking to buy a house for own stay. What about investors? Because I know you're an investor yourself. You have purchased Summer Velocity with me.
Yes.
So we can't wait. It's going to hand over very soon. So what about investors? Do you think that they think very differently?
100%. So I feel the general impression I got from investors who are looking for properties to buy, and my own experience as well, is investors are more rational and logical rather than like having emotions affect their buying decision. It's numbers, it is just qualitative
Yes.
data, basically. It's just that as simple, and they make decisions very quickly. And I notice investors are also more open to share. They can immediately tell me what is the return ROI they are looking for. They are easy to do viewings with. They come in and go out in matter of minutes. So a very different bunch versus people who are looking for own stay.
Right. So as investors, like what you said, they purely just looking at numbers. But I think some investors, maybe I would say that the new investors, they have this mindset where, okay, maybe I also need to like it, so that who knows, in the future I may want to stay before I rent out. You know, I don't want to get my keys already, then I immediately rent out. I want to probably also like it. Have you met any client profile like that?
Usually, I would say buyers who are not sure, or rather they're quite early in their decision, in their home buying journey. They don't really know what they want. Usually those, or rather people who also don't have an urgent need for a place to stay. Also sometimes they might be buying something that they would use to stay for own stay 20 years later, but now it's just for investment. So I can see why they are looking for something that they might like, or they might potentially see themselves staying in, because they could be they are still staying with their family for the next 10 years. 10 years later, they will come in. That kind of, it's a valid point, I would say.
That's very true. But you as an investor, when you started your first purchase, how did you feel at that time? Did you feel that you made decisions very quickly?
Okay, so at that time, when I contacted you, I was at a stage where I had zero real estate knowledge. Like I have no idea. I just know people like to talk about per square feet, but I don't even know how big a square feet looks like. So I was at a stage where I am completely clueless. I told you that I'm completely clueless, and I told you to educate me.
But what triggered you to want to even go into this?
So I have been investing for some time. And as you know, and as you and I know, real estate is a conventional, traditional asset class that everyone at some point will think about. And it's something that I haven't thought about. And I felt like it's something that I should know and I should diversify into. So it's something that I want to know. And it's time for me to know. So it's something that at that time I felt like, it's about time. It's about time for me to know. That's why, I reconnected with you. And so at that time, it was an interesting time because it was during MCO. So house viewing is not possible. Site visiting is not possible. I would just have to rely on virtual tours, Google Map, and good old data, basically. I knew from the very start that I was looking for something for investment. It's not for own stay. So I knew data was going to be very important. And I knew that it is for renting out. So it would need to be somewhere that has a lot of economic activity, commerce activity. So I think when I first contacted you, I believe Sunway Velocity was one of the first listings, or rather projects that you suggested, but I wasn't convinced. Because I felt like it's only the first property I heard about. I should take some time to view more. And then as I view more, I learn about more sort of like data to take into consideration, how to look for past transactions, how to calculate roughly what could be the rental yield, the ROI, pros and cons for everything. So finally, I felt like Sunway Velocity was the
sweet spot.
But like you said, still don't know. Still don't know. It's coming soon. We'll just have to stay tuned to find out. We can probably we can probably do like a review of
we should.
our decision and what we thought previously and what in reality what it is.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. And I think at that point, you also researched on multiple projects before you decided. But how come you didn't look into secondary market as an investment? Yeah. Or did you?
I felt like, okay, I did.
Okay.
I did. But again, secondary market, I'll split secondary market into both landed and condos.
Okay.
Landed from a numbers point of view will never
Yeah.
beat condos in terms of rental yield.
Yeah, and the cash flow.
Cash flow
Yeah.
as well. So that's why I felt like, I didn't want to tie up so much money in landed subsale. In terms of landed new project, too far away
Correct.
from the city.
Yeah.
Subsale
Condos.
condos are very good because it's already there.
That's
you get to
right.
see past transactions. You
Yes.
get to see everything.
Yeah.
But at that time, MCO, we couldn't view.
Okay.
We couldn't view. So it's a difficult sort of research journey, like if I want to go down that road. And then again, there's so many housing incentives at that time because of MCO.
HOC and all these things,
So
yeah.
I felt like, my first 90% loan, let's try new development. Yeah.
Would you say that during that time lockdown, right? Couldn't you have waited after lockdown only you do your first investment? Like, what makes you feel that, okay, now is the time that I just have to buy, I just have to buy?
I think at that time,
Yeah.
a couple of factors. Low interest rate, incentives,
that's
HOC, banks were giving a lot of perks.
Yeah.
Developers were giving a lot of perks.
Correct.
And also at that time, I think also because I'm quite a spur of the moment.
Yeah.
If I want something, I want something.
Even you cannot sleep, right? Like you
No
keep
lah, I
thinking
can sleep
about
lah,
it.
I can sleep lah. But it's like, I feel like these kind of things, right? Sometimes if you want to do it, just do it. Don't think too much. As in, don't sleep on it for too long because you never do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once, I'm a firm believer of there is no right time.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily apply to just real estate. It could be funds, it could be equity, it could be anything.
Yeah.
There's no right time. You can never time the market. Well, you
Correct.
never know what will happen.
Correct.
So if everything is right, you have the capacity to do it. I think once you've done your research, once you've calculated your numbers, if you think it makes sense,
Yeah.
I think can go for it.
I think you brought up a very good point where everybody feels that, property market will crash one day. Property market will crash one day, and that day really never seems like it's coming or it's in our near side. But people keep telling us that, you know what, it will drop again. For sure, it will drop again. Change of government, sure drop. Property price, sure drop. But really, truly, we have never seen property prices drop tremendously.
You know what's very interesting? I
Yeah.
think through my exporting business, I've learned that there's just too many factors beyond our borders,
Yeah.
within our borders and beyond our borders,
Yeah.
that could really move the market, and we can never predict it.
Correct.
For example, presidential election in another country
Yes.
can move our markets also. Some war somewhere
yeah.
can move our markets. You can't predict those. It's as
Yeah.
random as weather,
Yes.
really. So you can predict your government change, you
Yeah.
can predict your whatever within our country. You can never predict what happens thousands of
Outside,
miles
yeah.
away.
That's
So
right.
so it's just impossible.
Yeah. But then also, I think because of data, we can always analyze it and interpret it as like a benchmark. Yes, we can't really time the market whether you should buy today or tomorrow or next month or a specific date, right? But there is always a benchmark where we can see the overall, okay, this quarter, how does it perform? In the whole calendar year, even NAPIC shows that quarter one is usually very slow, then it will pick up in quarter three. These are data that we can rely on that, we know that buyers will make decision in quarter three more than quarter one, things like that. I think those data is still important because we still have something to study, to interpret, to help us to make decision. But truly, we don't have a crystal ball in front of us, to tell us that, okay, you should have bought yesterday, you should have bought 2 weeks later. I don't know. Yeah.
I think that also is comes down to knowing your purpose, your sort of what you are buying the property for.
Yeah.
If you're buying the property to flip, for example, then yes, the timing is important. But also, if you know that's what you want to do, and you can convince yourself through data that if I buy this place, for example, there's a Park City, for example,
Yeah.
there is a very rich archive of database transactions that if you buy now, you sell in 2 years, surely make money, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Then go for it.
Yeah.
You have data to back your decision. But if you're looking for something, if your time horizon is 10 years, for example, and you looked up the area, the transactions 10 years, you have doubled your capital appreciation. For example, especially mature neighborhoods, your OEG, your Taman Desas, your Happy Garden. If 10 year is your horizon, then you don't have to think about timing, because if you zoom out 10 years, it doesn't matter this month or next month or next year, for example. So it goes back to knowing your purpose and knowing why you are buying the property. Yeah.
And I think we can all agree that ultimately real estate, especially in mature neighborhoods where you already, I mean, the neighborhoods, when we say about mature, it's definitely more than 20, 30, 40 years. And there are enough activities, data to actually prove you that it's very safe. You don't have to feel that you're not yet informed enough to make a decision. So go back, check the data. I think it's still the best rule of thumb before you invest or before you buy.
And we are happy to provide you with the data. So if you have no access to it.
So lastly, before we draw to a close, you actually are, I would call it dual business owners in a sense. So how do you really juggle both and still do it successfully in both areas?
I think calendar management is very important. Time blocking and making sure that I know what I need to do, and I pretty much put everything in my calendar. If it's not in the calendar, it's not happening for me.
Even your personal life things?
I actually put my personal life in my calendar.
When did you start this habit? Like, who inspired you, or what book inspired you?
My boss in my first job. His life is in his calendar also. So because I work very closely with his PA at that time, I can see his calendar. I can see how his life is organized. His wife would put in his holidays without him even knowing. So his holidays for the year are already in the calendar. So calendar, I that's how it works. I mean, that's how things are working for me at the moment. So it has to be in the calendar, or else it's not happening.
So does it mean that if a buyer wants to view a house today, so how I have to make how many days in advance?
That's where the magic of our team comes into play, because we have teammates. If I really cannot move my things around, I can always get support from my teammates.
That's good.
Thank
you very much, Shen.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
me.
Yes, so that wraps up today's episode of Connecting the Dots, and we hope that you found today's conversation valuable to you. So if you do enjoy the episode, we do hope that you can subscribe, like, and also share our channel. We are very young, probably only 4 episodes young. So that's right. We are also on social medias: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, and I think we're going on Google Podcast really soon. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
See you next one. Bye.
Bye.